Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Want to give you a warm welcome to our Celtic Tides and Vintage Vines information webinar. My name's Tyler Shanek. I'm the owner of Expedia Cruises in Scarborough, and we are delighted that you have taken a little bit of time out of your Tuesday evening to join us. We have some really exciting things to talk about and some special guests. Before I get into what we're going to talk about, I would like to introduce a few people. First of all, I have Dale Miller with me. He is a vacation consultant and cruise sales manager at Expedia Cruises in Scarborough, and he will be co-hosting with me on this particular cruise, which we're really excited about. We are very fortunate to have the one and only Neil Dudley with us from AmaWaterways. So welcome, Neil.
Thank you. I thought that was going to be
Oh, I think he maybe paused.
Yeah.
There we go. Glad to have you here. And of course, the incomparable Heather Rankin. Welcome, Heather. We're so happy that the three of you are here and all of you who have joined us on our webinar. We have been super excited about this event and super excited about this cruise that we have put together for next year. And we want to tell you more about it. We've just been planning it and getting excited about it, and we want to share that excitement. Dale and I, every year or two, we like to put together a really intimate and unique exclusive cruise just to clients of Expedia Cruises in Scarborough and create something that's really special and unique. And so when we were thinking about what we would do next, we were thinking, okay, well, who are we going to partner with on this? And it had to be AmaWaterways. Because we've had great experiences with them. They are our go-to company for river cruises. We wanted to do it on one of their brand new ships that isn't even in the water yet, so we'll be one of the first groups to be on it. We wanted to make it a really special experience, so we've turned it into a wine immersion sailing. So we're going to have a local wine host, we'll have dinner and wine pairings, we'll have tasting events, and if you're not a wine connoisseur, there'll certainly be other beverages available for you to enjoy. And we wanted to partner with Heather Rankin and her friends because we know that what could be more fun than that? So tonight is all about sharing a little bit of information about what's coming up. If you do have questions and there's something that you'd like to know more about, just type it in the Q&A screen. We'll either answer it there or we'll take a few minutes near the end and answer those questions. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce again Neil Dudley. And he is going to talk to us a little bit about what it's like to cruise on the Danube River, why you want to do it with AmaWaterways, and just start to paint a picture of what you could experience when you join us on the Danube River. So Neil, please take it away.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. So yes, my name is Neil Dudley. I am with AmaWaterways. And my job tonight is to get you all very excited about not just river cruising, but the enhanced experience with the lovely Heather Rankin on board and such. And just to let you know, this is something we do very much specialize in. We love doing musical groups on our cruises. We've got a crew that works very well on and off the ship. So I was excited when the gentleman brought this cruise experience. So I'm going to tell you a bit about the AmaWaterways experience, and I will give you a bit of background on AmaWaterways in case you're not familiar with the company. It's two main families since our inception just over 22 years ago. You've got Rudy and Christine there, husband and wife team, along with the Murphy family from Ireland. And what I love is that we're not just a family-owned company, but that lovely gentleman there on the left, Rudy, is actually the architect and designer of every single one of our ships. It's been his lifelong dream to be a river cruise owner, designer, architect. So we're heavily involved, and it's all that we do. We don't have ocean cruising. We don't have coach touring. We are focused on bringing the best luxury river cruise experiences. And I love showing this slide because there's a pretty good chance that a lot of you have probably taken an ocean cruise before, and maybe you've not yet river cruised. So this slide, of course, certainly shows one of the big differences between us and our ocean cruising cousins. On a river cruise, folks, you are always within sight of land. Different port of call each and every day, generally arriving around breakfast, staying right through till dinner, late nights and overnights in some ports of call as well. And of course, with AmaWaterways, a much more intimate cruising environment with an average of about 155 guests on board our beautiful ships. So I say we are the leaders in innovation, and this is not just something that our marketing department came up with, but it's based on the fact, like I said, Rudy designs all of our ships, but we also lead the way when we bring out ships, always being first. We are the very first river cruise line to bring out ships with outdoor balconies. And as you just saw on that last slide, there's always something to see day or night on the rivers of Europe. So these are the cabins that people book first. We've got bikes on board. We've got a fitness center. We've got a wellness host on board, of course, again, offering all sorts of innovation for our guests to enjoy on board. And let's get the animal out of the way. Of course, we sometimes have to deal with issues that our ocean cruising cousins do not. And you guys may have heard of this before, that sometimes water levels can be too high or too low. Rudy knew all about this, so actually designed our fleet of ships to have the shallowest draft of any river cruise line, only needing about 4 feet of water underneath us in order to be able to cruise, always putting us in the position to give you that luxury river cruise experience. And that is the AmaWaterways difference, folks. So what I want to do is lead you in to this beautiful itinerary that we are going to be doing. And what I love is that Tyler and Dale, of course, will tell you what the enhanced experience is going to be with Heather Rankin and all of her friends on board. But my job is to tell you what the river cruise already includes. So what do we have up next, Tyler, for the slide? So there we are. Now, let's talk about the accommodation on board our ships, folks. We've got 3 levels of accommodation on all of our river cruise ships. You've got the picture window staterooms, you've got the French balcony suites, right up to our signature twin balcony suites. You've got the iMac entertainment system in all of the rooms, of course. Music, TV, Wi-Fi is complimentary throughout your entire cruise. But I love to show this picture of our twin balcony suites. I mentioned perfected the balcony experience. So as you see on the left-hand side, that's your typical outdoor balcony. You can sit outside, enjoy the weather, enjoy all the lovely views. But what happens when the weather's maybe not so nice? Maybe it's raining or maybe it's cooler outside. That's where we have the matching mirrored indoor balcony that you see there on the right. Ceiling to floor windows, table and chairs, so that no matter what the weather, no matter what the temperature, you're always able to enjoy that beautiful balcony experience. Now, of course, on board all of our ships, we've got multiple lounges for you to relax and enjoy. And of course, the main lounge, that's the main hub of activity. This is where the cruise managers give his or her port talks each and every evening. And this, of course, is where you're going to enjoy that spectacular special entertainment that is all going to be happening on this cruise. Now, I won't steal the thunder because I don't know all of the planned surprises that they have with Heather and her friends, but just know that that is where everything will be happening. There are some smaller lounges, books to read, fireplace, 24-hour cafe and lounge. So again, those are all available to you. And of course, we have multiple dining venues on all of our ships. These are all included experiences. So basically, folks, we have the main dining room. That is the picture you're seeing in the top left-hand corner. Has about 170 seats in there. We've got about 155 guests on board. What that means, it's open seating. Come and dine whenever, wherever you like. Tables of 2, 4, 6, or 8 for you to enjoy. And folks, we have changed that all meals are now an elevated a la carte dining experience. You will not see any buffets in our main dining room. Now, if you happen to be dining with a group of friends, of course, or sorry, traveling with a group of friends, you can dine in one of our private wine rooms that hold about 6 or 8 guests. And at the back of the ship is the Chef's Table restaurant. This is a completely separate menu, seats about 20 plans for the Chef's Table evenings when it is open. And of course, if you've got any sort of dietary restrictions, please just let the team at Expedia know. They will make sure that we are aware and our chefs will create an equally impressive array of meals with your specific dietary needs in mind. So some of the onboard service that we've got, folks, if you are the kind of cruiser, like skin massage, get your hair done, there are those services available on board. As I mentioned, we've got bikes on board. We've got wellness hosts. We've got the wellness host offering classes on and off the ship. We've got the fitness center. We got guided cycling tours on all of our cruises. But I will say the most popular area of recreation is that beautiful rooftop heated pool experience that we have for you to enjoy. Now, I know this picture shows a bartender up there taking care of your every need, but folks, with AmaWaterways, you can bring on board whatever you like and enjoy it wherever you like. Maybe you've flown over and bought something at duty free. Maybe you've gone on shore, bought a bottle of wine, bring it back on board, enjoy it in the restaurant, enjoy it in the lounge, enjoy it up at the pool. We want you to enjoy your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience exactly how you wish to do so without ever having to pay anything extra while you're on board. So let's talk about what's included. Pretty much everything is included with AmaWaterways. All of your meals are included. All of your drinks with all of your meals. So unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks. Whatever you've brought on board, as well as our sip and sail program, which is essentially like a happy hour. So it's unlimited beverages leading right up till dinner begins. Now, all of your excursions are included. We have no optional tours. And in the larger cities and towns, we give you a choice of activities, 4, 5, sometimes 6 different choices. You decide what it is you would like to see and do, and that's all included as part of your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience. And folks, this is my favorite enhancement. It is the My Ama Cruise app. It has all sorts of great information for you before, during, and after your cruise. But folks, the most important part is during your cruise, when you're going on all of these beautiful tours and listening to the guides tell you all about the history of everywhere that you're seeing. And of course, you take picture upon picture upon picture to remember all of these beautiful things. And you get back home after your 1 or your 2-week vacation and you start looking back through your hundreds and hundreds of pictures. And you look back through some of these going, I have absolutely no idea what that is, let alone why I took a picture of this place. Well, folks, if you take all of your pictures now through the My Ama Cruise app, all of the notes that the tour guide gave you on that day will automatically link to the pictures you took that day. Forms into your own digital photo album for you to look at for years and years. And remember every part of your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience. And with one simple click, it's uploaded to your favorite social media site, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. So that's just a lovely map of all the rivers around the world that we cruise on, but we are focused on the beautiful Danube River. Now, this is going to be the romantic Danube. Of course, this cruise is happening in June. And what I'm loving is that, yes, you are going to probably the most popular river cruise choice for the first timers. Now, this cruise can start earlier. There is an optional pre-package that you can do in Prague. And then you're going to go down to Vilshofen, board the cruise, and cruise down for 7 nights through to Budapest. So let's talk about the Prague package. Now, again, this is not something that everybody has to do, but if you're interested in doing this, you can add this on, and Tyler and Dale will certainly tell you a little bit more about that. Now, it's 3 nights staying in a 5-star centrally located hotel in Prague. What I love is when you are doing pre-packages, folks, the cruise manager that is with you on the cruise is actually meeting you in Prague. So it's fully escorted on land and on the river. 5-star centrally located hotel, daily breakfasts. Of course, you've also got sightseeing on day 2 and day 3. So I think that'll show on the next slide, Tyler, for Prague. Oh, there is the lovely flyer. Oh, I stuck that in there. There you go. That flyer, of course, is available for all of you. I know that Tyler and Dale will certainly send that out, tell you all about the program, of course. But yeah, that's the slide for Prague right there. If you want to add that on, like I said, those are all of the inclusions that you've got. So it's just like a great extension, gives you the opportunity to see another city and another country in addition to the 7-night river cruise experience. But folks, if you are just going to join for the cruise, you will fly into Munich. And Vilshofen is about 90 minutes south of Munich. And Vilshofen is basically the capital of the Bavarian region. This is actually where the Pilsner beer was invented. So you'll be overnighting in Vilshofen. And what you're going to find, folks, is that when you arrive onto the ship, that afternoon, we're bringing you a centuries-old Germanic event known as Oktoberfest. And this is exclusive just for our guests to enjoy. There's a permanent tent set up right on the pier where our ship is docked. And let me tell you, all the locals come out. You've got the, if you've ever been to Oktoberfest, it's that same experience. You've got the tent, you've got the beer, you've got the pretzels, you've got all the musical celebrations going on there right at the pier. So folks, the next day we are cruising off and you're going to be arriving into Passau, Germany. This is known as the city of 3 rivers. And from here, you've got a choice of tours that you can select. So you can do a standard walking tour because we are docked right into the heart of Passau. You can do a guided cycling tour in and around the Passau area, or you can do a guided hiking experience because the Passau Castle is also there. It's at the head of one of the 3 rivers, and you can actually hike up here with the guide. And when we say a hike, folks, it's basically you're just climbing a bunch of steps. It is not really a serious hike. It's a great area to do, and you can get some spectacular pictures from the top of the castle of all of the rivers and such. So that's the one that I absolutely love and adore. Now you're back on board the ship in time for dinner. It's an overnight sail, and you're now entering into your next country, and you're going to be in Linz, Austria. Now, when you are here, folks, this is probably going to be the hardest day, or maybe the easiest day, because of course you have a musical cruise theme going on here, but you have 2 full-day tours that you can choose from. Technically, you actually have 3. You can often do a city sightseeing tour of Linz, but I can tell you that basically nobody does that because on this day, these are the days you can either do a full day tour up to Salzburg, home to Mozart, home to the sound of music, or you can go off to Český Krumlov, a beautiful mountain town, of course, in the Czech Republic. Now, both are incredible experiences, and I know this will be the hardest day, but like I said, since I'm suspecting you're all great music lovers, otherwise, why would you be going on this beautiful cruise featuring Heather Rankin and friends? You guys might all be doing the Salzburg tour, but again, these are spectacular tours. And remember, the cruise manager is going to tell you all about the tours that are included on board, whether it's a half day, full day. You can make your tours up to 24 hours beforehand on the cruise, and they'll never be sold out. If one person wants to do the tour, the entire ship wants to do the exact same tour, it's all included. Now, folks, you are back on board the ship in time for dinner. It's an overnight sail, and now we are ending up in a double stop. We are actually going to be anchored in Weissenkirchen, and this is going to allow us to take you off to two beautiful towns in Austria. First off is Dürnstein. This is home to more apricot production, beautiful little town on the hillside, of course. You can do a guided hiking experience up to Richard the Lionheart's castle dating back to the 4th century. You can also, of course, go off and explore the little town and all the apricots, apricot brandy, liqueur, jams, barbecue sauce, you name it. Now, it doesn't take very long to tour around this town, so you're actually on board for lunch, and it's a short cruise off to Melk. And Melk has the oldest Benedictine abbey in the world. The acoustics in this place are spectacular. So if you happen to be on a tour with Heather, I've already heard her lovely voice. Get her to sing a couple notes in there, because let me tell you, it is just stunning, the acoustics in here. But you get a chance to explore and see one of the most beautiful pipe organs, of course, also in all of Europe as well. So bit of a split day. And then, of course, overnight sail, and we are ending up in what is always a highlight on the Danube, and that is to go off to the city of Vienna. Now, you are here for a very full day and late night experience. You get a chance to do a sightseeing tour, which is done by coach and foot. This is the only city where you're basically not walking off the ship into the heart of the old town. You will notice that you are still in the heart of Vienna. Vienna is a huge metropolis, but the old part of Vienna, which is where everybody wants to see, is kind of into the central area. So we are doing this as a coach and walking tour. It'll take you all around the ring circle, of course, of Vienna, seeing all of the highlights. So you get off, do some on coach, and then you walk around to do some of the sightseeing tours. Or you can do a guided cycling tour, or you can go to Schönbrunn Palace, home to the Habsburg family. So maybe you've been to Vienna, seen the regular sites. This gives you an opportunity to see something that you probably didn't see the last time that you were in Vienna. Overnight sail, and we're ending up into our next country. And I love that we stop in Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. It is a very different cultural experience to all of the other countries we are stopping in. Again, you've got a regular walking tour, cycling tour, or a hiking tour to take you up to the castle that you're seeing here in the picture. So again, all sorts of options. And folks, you've got an afternoon free. So my recommendation, even though I know you're probably going to be walking around Vienna, doing some incredible shopping, that's what this city is known for, you might balk a little at the prices because Vienna is not an inexpensive city, folks. However, go check out Bratislava's downtown core, because they've got almost all the same shops that Vienna do, but for about 30% less of the price. So there is your shopping tip, folks. Wander back to the ship in time for dinner. It's an overnight sail, and we are ending up in our next country, Budapest. And folks, Budapest is my absolute favorite city in all of Europe in the evening. It is lit up like a Christmas tree. And yes, you get an overnight experience in Budapest. So you have an opportunity to do the regular sightseeing tour, which again is done on a combination of coach and walking, because Budapest is two cities split by the Danube River. City of Buda on one side, the city of Pest on the other. Just as many important sites. So we take you through the coach to get you all around the city to see. You can do a cycling tour, or you can even go off and explore by just doing a hiking tour as well. So again, some great options for you to enjoy in Budapest, folks. And we thought we'd take you on a quick 2-minute journey just to see all of these beautiful sights on the Danube River. So, Tyler, take that video away.
The legendary Danube River has inspired artists and musicians for centuries. Along its riverbed, cities were born, castles were built, and kings and queens were crowned. And when you join us on board one of AmaWaterways' award-winning river cruise ships, you will sail through the grand capitals and charming villages where many of these castles remain, including the ruins of Dürnstein Fortress in Austria, where Richard the Lionheart was once held captive. You can hike up to this fortress and as well as spectacular castles in Budapest, Bratislava, and Passau, or paddle along the riverside on one of our complimentary bike tours. On our guided tours, you can see where Mozart was born, and The Sound of Music was filmed in Salzburg, or follow the footsteps of the imperial Habsburg family in Vienna. Of course, one of the best ways to explore the Danube region is through your taste buds, and we are delighted to combine the tasting of Bavaria's famous pretzels and beer with a festive cultural experience at our exclusive year-round Oktoberfest in Vilshofen, just for AmaWaterways guests. You can also taste the famous wines from the vineyards, both on board and on shore. All of this and more is waiting for you when you cruise along the Danube River with AmaWaterways.
So folks, that is a quick little glimpse, of course, into the beautiful Danube experience. And of course, this one's going to be made super special because Heather Rankin and family are on board. And this is, of course, the flyer. This is the date's happening in June of 2026. And remember, with only having 156 guests on board, river cruises fill very quickly. In fact, for next year, we're already 45% sold out. So this is why we want to bring this experience to you now. They've got some great offers, and I'm going to hand it back to either Tyler or Dale or Heather. I'm not sure. One of these lovely folks are going to tell you about, obviously, the special price they've got, and of course, the special enhancements having Heather on board. So, gentlemen, ladies, over to you.
Thank you very much, Neil. That's beautiful. And having done this itinerary before, I can tell you it is even more glamorous as it looks on screen. So it's absolutely beautiful. Wanted to maybe just take a minute now, Dale, to get you involved, and maybe you and Heather can tell us a little bit about what you have in store for us beyond what Neil's already described.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is the part of the, no offense, Neil, absolutely love you and love, you know, I love AmaWaterways, but this little section is the part that I've been most looking forward to, basically catching up with my dear old friend and fellow Cape Bretoner, the one and only Heather Rankin. You know, Heather and I go way back. We're both from the East Coast. We both went to Acadia University, and we actually performed together at Neptune Theatre in Halifax. We did Jesus Christ Superstar. And no, I was not Mary Magdalene. Heather was. It was so much fun. We had a lot of laughs, and we probably ended up having some wine tastings of our own. Am I right, Heather? Some pretty good times there.
What goes on in the theater stays in the theater.
Stays in the theater, exactly. So we are so thrilled, Heather, my dear friend, that we're teaming up for this special adventure on our exclusive charter on the Danube. And basically, we want everyone to think of it as a Cape Breton kitchen party on a luxury river ship in the heart of Europe. So Heather, hello, how are you?
I am so psyched. I was excited when you hired me to do this, but having seen Neil's video and the sights that we're going to experience, I am so excited. I can hardly contain myself. And I can't believe that I'm going to be performing on this boat with these incredible musicians and bringing Kim Dunn, who is a tremendous singer-songwriter in his own right. Jamie Robinson, who accompanies everybody, and he's a great songwriter. I've written some songs with him. And Lisa McIsaac, who is, of course, the sister of Ashley McIsaac, fiddler, but a great musician. She plays other instruments, and she writes and sings. And hoping to mix it up. I'm going to do some old Rankin family songs. I'm going to do some of my own tunes. I'll do, I do covers. I do Lenny Gallant. I do Rita McNeil. I do Richard Thompson.
You do Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good mixture, and invite them to do a song or two themselves. And if anybody's in the audience and who wants to get up and sing a song with me, I'm always open to that. I'm looking forward to maybe teaching people one of the figures of a Cape Breton square set,
Oh,
if
nice.
people are up for that. Um, but mostly just hanging out with people and getting to know people and making new friends and tasting wine and seeing the sights and learning about the history. I'm just there's so much to take in. I can't even, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's absolutely so much to do, so much to see, so much to experience. So, let's talk about why we're doing this cruise. And I know for me and Tyler, Tyler talked about what we like to do. We're always thinking ahead to the next big thing, and I've always dreamt of finding a way to bring like a true Cape Breton kitchen style party to somewhere completely unexpected. And I'm just thinking, okay, a luxury river cruise in the middle of Europe on the Danube. So what was their draw? Once we had the conversation, you were quote unquote on board. What was the draw to this particular cruise? Did you have any thoughts about, oh my gosh, yes, or what were your thoughts?
To be honest, I had no idea what to expect from a river cruise. I've never been on a cruise, an ocean cruise, let alone
Oh,
a,
okay.
so it's all new to me. But I've traveled to a lot of parts of the world and I've seen a lot, but mostly it's from the windows of the theater, hotel, or airport. And I'm at the age now where I get to do some traveling on my own, and I'm just looking forward to that part of it, the excursion, the traveling, the learning about new places, the seeing of new cities and the history and all of that. But again, just being on a river cruise. I get to sleep on the boat, and
No.
I don't know. It's just I just was instantly on board. Prior to COVID, I somebody invited me to go on a river cruise, and COVID happened, and that idea went away. So I was so excited about it, but then that happened, and then you came to me with this proposal, and I was just like, I was in
Yeah.
immediately.
Well, we're so glad for that. And you were talking about you've never been on a cruise, river or ocean, but what's special about river cruising, and especially what we're doing here, is that this isn't just a cruise. It's not just a river cruise. I really want us, and I know you're excited about it, lean into that Celtic celebration. Both of us being from Cape Breton, I know that Celtic spirit runs deep, within us, and I know that there's a number of people who've joined us this evening who are also from Nova Scotia and from Cape Breton, so you all know what I'm talking about. And but this experience isn't going to be about sitting politely in a theater or just listening to music in a lounge. Like, we're talking jokes and parties and sing-alongs and step dancing and putting back as much wine as we can. You might have already answered a little bit, but is there something that excites you about bringing our home style feeling, that Celtic spirit, that East Coast music tradition and culture to the Danube? And I say that, and it doesn't sound really foreign, because the VP of sales for AmaWaterways, Gary Murphy, he's from Ireland, so there's definitely a Celtic connection with the cruise line in itself. So.
Well, you know what? I know back years ago I performed with the family in Germany, but I think it was for a record company, and we never really did tour Germany and those countries in that area of the Danube. But I know lots of Cape Bretoners and Nova Scotians who have, and it's a huge Celtic music market. They love Celtic music there.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that is definitely one aspect of what I do. I do traditional Gaelic and traditional English Celtic songs. I step dance. That's why I'm bringing Lisa, because it's so important to have the fiddle in those old Rankin arrangements. But there's just something very uplifting about Celtic music, and I think it'll go hand in hand with drinking wine and discovering new places and new people.
Do you think there's any time for us to get together and have some matching clothing made out of curtains so we could do that Salzburg tour together? You and I could sing Do Re Mi on the steps. Seriously, it'll be, and anybody who wants, matching pajamas made from curtains, just speak to Tyler. He'll hook you up with that. I don't think he will, but
Amazon. You could
yeah.
probably find them on Amazon, yeah.
You have where should I go with this? No, I've already asked that question. I'm just thinking, okay, so you've talked a couple times about the artists that are coming with you, the amazing Kim Dunn, Lisa McIsaac, Jamie Robinson, every one of them a superstar in their own right, and they all bring their own little flair of that East Coast culture, that East Coast magic with them. What is it like? Because and I know you have performed with some of the best, not only your family, Carly Simon, Lenny Gallant, the Barry McNeil, so many people you performed with. What is it about this particular crew, this trio that you were thinking, oh yeah, I've got to have these people? What is it about these people? What's it like to collaborate with them?
Well, it's not even 10 years since I started with my solo career. But it was Jamie and Kim who approached me when I released my first record and proposed us all getting together and putting a show together. And so they're two of the best musicians out of this area. They're solid, they're good people, they're easy to work with, and they're fun. And that's important when you're spending a lot of time with people. And of course, Lisa, she's not just a violinist, she's a singer and a songwriter, and she plays guitar, and she's a great asset to this group. So she actually approached me about a year ago that she was going to have some downtime, and she was looking for if I was ever in need of a fiddler, to give her a call.
Right.
So I did, and then this opportunity came along, and so it was just kind of all perfect timing. But the other thing is, I went backpacking in Europe in 1989 when I was very young. And when you're a kid, you see things differently and you're looking for different things. And then again, went touring many times with my family, but you don't always have a lot of time to experience the culture and experience what's happening in those places because you're so busy traveling and working. But this time I will get to be having fun. I will get to see it with adult eyes and drink wine. I mean, when I went in 99, I didn't care about wine. I ate at McDonald's the whole time. It was disgraceful. So this time I really want to do it with class and this, oh my God, the pictures of the ship.
It's beautiful. It's so great because I think and maybe some of the attendees of the Zoom tonight, you go to a concert, you go to a show, you see you're a big fan of whoever you're watching on stage, and that's it, right? Unless you have an exclusive backstage pass or them, like you don't have any connection with these artists, right? There's very much that line of security or a backstage, and you don't get there. And what's really great about this is that when I say intimate performances, like intimate is actually going to be a word that we're going to use a lot because we're going to get up close and intimate with you, right? We're going to see a side of Heather Rankin and your friends that people don't just get to see when they go to a festival or a show, right? Heather, for all of you watching, Heather's going to be sitting.
You're probably not going to like me at all. And
you're going to hate her. She's a terrible person. Yeah.
not fun.
She's the best. But you're going to get to have a drink with her, and you're going to get to have dinner with her, and you're going to get to go to the castles with her, and you're going to get to pretend that you're Liesel or Friedrich or whoever else, in Salzburg. So I think that's going to be really special because you don't get to experience that with just regular artists, when you go to see their show.
It's like going on vacation with a bunch of people you don't know.
Absolutely.
And then coming home friends.
Absolutely. What's that old expression? Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. Is that what it is? So I guess that is exactly what this is going to be. I've just got one more thing that jumped. Oh, it dropped my pen. So our tagline, I was trying to come up with something that I think would attract people, you know, or catch people's eye. And I came up with the tagline, where Cape Breton's heart meets Europe's soul. And I
Oh.
just thought that was really special. And what does that mean to you? How does that resonate with you?
Well, you know, my ancestors came from that side of the ocean. So I mean, music is something incredible that connects people. It doesn't matter where we're from. But I'm actually interested in making lots of new friends from that side of the ocean. Given all the crazy things that are going on in the world, it'll be nice to travel there. But yeah, it's kind of like, you would think it's a juxtaposition because of all of the different history. It's so different to our country, so new, and the architecture and just everything about those places is going to be so foreign in one way, but in another way, we all share the same soul and the same longing for company and camaraderie and just, and especially these days, just an opportunity to enjoy ourselves with people who are like-minded. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does, and that perfectly leads into just how I was going to wrap up. It's I love that you were talking about that, because this cruise isn't just a cruise, and it's not just about music or travel. It's about connection. You know, meeting these people and feeling not only connected to your fans and to strangers who become your friends, but to the communities, the countries, the cities that we get to visit. And I just think it's all about connection, and I think we need more of that in the world. And I think for anyone who loves Cape Breton, who loves stories, who loves to gather, who loves to have a cocktail or two, you know, this is the perfect thing to celebrate with kindred spirits. You know, we're going to be having that food and having that wine, and I think, you know, I'm a little biased because you're my friend, and I'm obsessed with, you know, your music, and I always have been. Our viewers, our guests, our travelers, our fellow travelers are going to experience music and culture in a really meaningful way that you've never experienced before. And I'm not going to give away, you know, how we're going to set up some of the performances and gigs, but it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be, like I said, intimate and amazing. So if you've ever wanted to see Europe in a way that is authentically you, authentically East Coast, and maybe authentically Canadian, because I think most people are going to be Canadians on this river cruise. I think this is the one for you. And Heather, we couldn't be more excited to have you join us. I am so thrilled, so thrilled.
Well, thank you. I'm honored and delighted, and I will work really hard to make you all happy.
Well, you already have, and just by showing up. So we couldn't love you more. So thank you, Heather.
I gotcha.
All right, and if anybody, I'm gonna throw it back to Tyler to move on to the next section. But if anybody has any questions for either Neil or Heather, feel free to just pop them in the chat. You can click on the little chat box on the bottom; it'll pop up on the side. And if there's anything you'd like to know, we're happy to answer that for you. So over to you, Tyler.
Fantastic. Thank you, Heather and Dale. We actually already have one official request for curtain close. So I didn't see that coming into this, but it's taking a life of its own, which is fantastic.
Curtain close. Well, you know, for the Sound of Music, we got to turn the curtains. She's like, what's curtain close? Yeah, okay.
Okay, sorry.
We'll have it all taken care of. It's all good. Wanted to just share a little bit of information of where people can go to get more details if you are interested. So we have a dedicated website just for this adventure. It's called cruise2remember.com. So cruise2remember.com. All of the information there is there, like what Neil shared, additional information about availability, the types of cabins, the pricing, everything you could possibly want to know. And if you are interested in reserving your spot, there's a form there that you can complete to let Dale know that you're interested. He can reach out to you to give you some additional detail and get that all taken care of. We do appreciate you taking time out of your evening this evening. So for anyone who joined us this evening, if you do decide to join us and come along on this particular cruise, by next Friday, which is May the 2nd, we will give you an extra $100 off per person. And we recently just announced a $250 discount per person for active and retired military and veterans. So you can take advantage potentially of both of those. We would really love to have you join us. It's going to be a fantastic time. And so space is selling out. In fact, one of the cabin categories is already completely sold out. We want to get you in the cabin that you're most interested in. So the way to do that is to book early. So before we do wrap up, if anyone does have any questions, you can certainly type them in the Q&A, and perfect opportunity to ask a question of Neil or Heather or Dale. But just while we give people a moment to do that, any final parting words from any of you, Dale, Neil, Heather?
Let's start with Neil. He kicked us off. So anything? What's that thing that you do at your presentations or when you're speaking to people that locks it in, that just makes people go, oh, yes, I'm doing this?
Well, honestly, I mean, I like the video and all the pictures. They kind of speak for themselves because it is a spectacular. You're getting 4, sometimes 5 countries in one 7 or 10 night experience. It's a way to see parts of Europe which you wouldn't normally see. It's like it's a floating hotel taking you through history as you go down. And the fact that you guys are enhancing it with all of these special musical performances on board, it's just going to make this a spectacular experience. So.
And in June, the weather is beautiful there, I hear.
Oh,
well, June is lovely. You guys have picked a great time of year to go. It's obviously not as hot as us. The crowds aren't quite there yet, so it's a perfect time to actually go over and experience that as well. So, yeah.
Question: is it too soon to start packing?
Never
too soon. So.
It's never too soon. At least start making those lists on what to bring. So yeah, you were a Girl Scout, weren't you? Yeah, always be prepared or something. A brownie or something. I'm not sure. So, what Neil had talked about, the getting into these towns and these cities, and I know maybe Tyler can talk about this. We did our first river cruise with AmaWaterways on the Danube. Actually, it's so funny. I just pulled this pen out of a pile of pens this afternoon because I was looking for a pen, and I got this pen, and you can't really see, but it says Danube River on it, and it was a gift from the very first AmaWaterways cruise that we did from Tyler's work from a previous, life. But it still works, and I love it. But you were talking about the excursions, Tyler. Because Neil talked about a place called Melk in Austria. Tell me about Melk and just how magical that experience was.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for reminding me. Probably my favorite day of cruising in my entire life was the day that the ship was in Melk in the morning, and then it was cruising along the river to Krems in the afternoon. And so a bunch of us got off in Melk. Alma had their bicycles ready. And so we had a guide take us cycling along the river, following the ship as it went from Melk to Krems. And as we were doing that, we were going through all these beautiful small towns and cycling through vineyards, past castles. We actually stopped and got off our bike in front of someone's house, and there was an old wooden chair out front with some fruit that they had picked that morning from their orchard, and you would just leave a donation and have your fruit. And so just, I mean, absolutely magical, part of the world that we don't see every day. Things to see and experience. I mean, it's just a totally different world, and that's kind of what river cruising is like every single day when you have this great experience on the luxury ship and then arrive in a port, get off, and experience this amazing new place. So just day after day, it's a lot of fun and great memories that you won't forget.
Yeah, and it's a different world. Those of us who live in the big city or been to lots of big cities, they get a reputation of not being overly friendly, right? Like everyone diverts their eyes, they look down, they don't say hi. These little towns, that lady, she was just picking apricots and berries and grapes and whatever. And any of these little communities that you go through, they're going to say hi, they're going to talk to you, and to me that feels like home, because that's what it was like growing up in Cape Breton, right? And on the East Coast, there's that familiarity even with strangers, and there's that kindness that just kind of comes out. So I'm very excited for people to experience that. Heather, do you have any parting words?
Look, I'm just delighted. In '89, when I went backpacking, my Eurail pass did not cover that part of the Europe. So I've never been, and I'm really, really excited to learn more and to meet everybody and hang out and just have a blast of a time.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
We can't wait either.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to thank all of you who have joined the webinar this evening. Hopefully you found it informative and you learned something new. Hopefully you're as excited as we are about going on this adventure together. Neil, thank you for taking time out of your day. I know you've had a really busy day and we caught you for a few minutes in your hotel room. Thank you for sharing your information. Heather, thank you for joining us as well. We're so excited about this and can't wait to spend that week or more with you in Europe. And Dale, certainly thank you for helping put this together and for organizing the session this evening. One final reminder, if you would like more information, please go to cruise2remember.com. You can reach out to us there. We'd love to get you confirmed for this cruise or any other river cruise or any other cruise that you might have interest in. But we look forward to staying in contact with you and touching base with you soon. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great evening.
See you on the boat.
See you on the boat. Everyone.